Hi, Summer. Can you hear me now? Hello? Testing one, two, three.
Um,
Aha! Okay, now I can hear you, so that's good. Can you hear me? Oh no! Rats. So close. I can hear you though, so audio is coming through to me now, so that is good.
you unplugged my computer, like my keyboard.
Oh no!
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yay, success.
Make sure your keyboard works.
Wonderful.
It does, yeah. Okay. Forget
Oh,
your
perfect.
coffee. There you go.
Thank goodness for dads.
Yay.
We never had that issue before, so I'm so glad we were able to get that troubleshooted and everything going. I think with all the like crazy winter weather, it's been a little funky this week because I had a couple people Monday who the internet was struggling with. So I think it's just
Yeah,
the super cold. I think that the technology doesn't like it. So
it probably is. It's been snowing for like the past like 5 days, and this
yeah.
is this is the third day that my school has been shut down. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been kind of just like all over too. I have
mhm.
some people like out west and some people in other countries that they haven't had the issue, but like pretty much like it seems like half the country is just struggling right now because of all the
Yeah.
snow. So it's kind of like just get cozy inside for a while, I guess. All right. Well, I'm so glad we were able to get it working. That's awesome. Yeah. So, great. So, kind of reflecting on what we did last time, what were some things that you felt like were working well? And then what were some things that maybe you thought we could maybe do today and kind of continue on that track and, keep improving those areas? What are you thinking?
Um, I think I want to focus again on shifting like tones.
Absolutely. Yeah. So vocal tones, are we thinking like warmth, brightness, more nasally, more like emotional tones, like maybe whiny or um cheerful or weepy, kind of like that?
Maybe could we do more like back and forth kind of sunshine, cloudy kind of characters?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was a really good exercise, especially with the contrasts. I really loved the contrasts that we were discovering. So yeah, that was something I thought was working really beautifully. Yeah, let's get some good contrasting characters going here because I thought that was really, really fun. Um, let's see. So this one's kind of like an authority figure with somebody who's more of like a defiant, doesn't like being controlled kind of a thing. Um,
Mhm.
so more rebellious. So Mara is the one who's like the person who's the authority figure, and then Jax is the person who's like doesn't really doesn't really like having someone tell them what to do, and that's okay. All right. Clearly, Jax is older than 12 because Jax does not like being treated like they are 12. So
Mm.
we've got some little hints in here. Let's see how long it is. It's a little long, so let me see. I want to cut out some. Or I could just do like, I can send it in chunks too, as well. We could do like half and half. Let's try that. So here's the first chunk, and then here is the latter chunk of it. All right. Take a glance through and see which character you want to play with first. I think this
Okay.
one's pretty different than the others that we were looking at last time too, which is part of why I think it's a really fun one to work on.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do you think of the two characters? Which one's kind of like speaking to you a little bit more?
They're going to do Mara first.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's do it. Okay, so then I will be Jax. Yeah, so I'm just kind of glancing through here too. Awesome.
Mhm.
Alrighty, so okay, so I'll go first. You called me in here like I'm 12.
I called you in because you broke protocol.
Protocol is just fear with better branding.
Sit down.
No.
You always do this thing where you confuse resistance with courage.
And you do that thing where you confuse control with leadership.
You had one job, one, and instead you decided the rules didn't apply to you.
The rules don't apply when they're wrong.
That's not how systems work.
That's exactly how systems change.
You don't get to be the hero just because you're loud.
I'm not loud. I'm inconvenient.
You put people at risk.
I protected them from you.
Do you really believe that?
I believe you stopped listening a long time ago.
I built this place from nothing.
You built walls and called them safety.
You think rebellion makes you free? It just makes you predictable.
And authority makes you invisible.
I can end this for you tonight.
You already tried. I'm still standing.
If you walk out that door, there's no coming back.
Good, because I was never really inside.
This is bigger than you.
No, it's just bigger than your grip on it. Okay, awesome. So, what did we learn from that first read through? What do you think you kind of learned about your character, their relationship? Who do you think they are? Like, what's going on in this scene?
I think Jax is a more rebellious character, and Mara's like follow the rules because I'm the one who set them to keep everybody safe. But Jax is like, this isn't
Yeah,
safety, this is prison kind of thing.
yeah. Yes, for sure.
Mm,
Um, I was thinking it could be kind of like a sci-fi or like dystopian universe kind of a thing,
mm,
with Mara being like the person in charge. So thinking something like Divergent or Hunger Games, and she's like the person who runs everything, kind of an idea. Um, if it was like Hunger Games, she could be like the head of the resistance that's like outside of, the borders, like with their underground bunkers and things, like something like that. And she's like, you
mm,
put everybody at risk when you disobey the rules.
mm.
Um, so what do you think their relationship is? Like, do they have any kind of special relationship? Like I feel like something that can make it really interesting would be like if Mara is Jax's mom, or it could be like she raised Jax. Um, it could just be, that Jax is sort of like a Katniss kind of thing where it's like Mara just needs Jax. Um, so kind of thinking about like what it is that's their relationship. Is Jax just a really annoying, pesky person, but like maybe essential? So Mara, or maybe like Mara made a promise to Jax's mom when she passed away that she would watch out for Jax. What do you think is the relationship there? And like why hasn't Mara already kind of like, it sounds like this isn't the first time this kind of thing has happened either. Why hasn't
Mhm.
Mara squashed this in the past?
I feel like instead of them being like at a bigger age gap, I feel like they grew up together
Oh,
and
okay, yeah. They could be
they used
friends.
to be so close, but then
Yeah.
based on how they like something altered their life and they made a choice
Yeah.
and it changed their view on what
Sure.
like people should live by.
it could be kind of like a Katniss with her best friend growing up, but then later, like they kind of grow apart because he makes choices that she disagrees with, and then like she blames him for her sister dying and stuff, like where, they approach things really differently and kind of grow apart just because it's like life choices happen. But at one point, they were like practically siblings and attached at the hip and best friends and maybe thought they'd get married one day, kind of a thing. Um,
Mm.
but then like they end up being where it's like really painful just to be around each other even. So yeah, where it's like adulthood and the choices they've had to make have kind of like put them at odds and they just have chosen sort of different paths. That could be, yeah. Yeah, I think that works great. So it seems like Mara is in charge. Jax was given orders, which Jax did not do. And Mara is displeased. Um,
Mm.
and what do you think is Mara's goal in this conversation? What does Mara want?
She wants him to see how she sees the situation, or like how she interprets safety for everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and like maybe understand and agree that like in the future, Jax is going to listen and not put other people at risk. Yeah, and that makes sense if she's like, look, I'm not just looking out for myself, I'm looking out for all of these, the whole hundreds or thousands of people, right?
Mhm.
Which is, then you don't get to do just whatever you want. You have to really think about putting other people first. And, maybe she feels like Jax just kind of doesn't think about other people, but just what's good for them.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and we're gonna try it again.
Okay.
You called me in here like I'm 12.
I called you in because you broke protocol.
Protocol. It's just fear with better branding.
Sit down.
No.
You always do this thing where you confuse resistance with courage.
And do you do that thing where you confuse control with leadership?
You had one job. One. And instead, you decided the rules didn't apply to you.
The rules don't apply when they're wrong.
That's not how systems work.
That's exactly how systems change.
You don't get to be the hero just because you're loud.
I'm not loud. I'm inconvenient.
You put people at risk.
I protected them from you.
Do you really believe that?
I believe you stopped listening a long time ago.
I built this place from nothing.
You built walls and called them safety.
You think rebellion makes you free? It just makes you predictable.
And authority makes you invisible.
I can end this for you. Tonight.
You already tried. I'm still standing.
If you walk out that door, there's no coming back.
Good, because I was never really inside.
This is bigger than you.
No, it's just bigger than your grip on it. All right, awesome, great. So, what changed with that read through?
I feel like I did more pauses because I feel like it's like they still have it hurts them to combat each other, so they still have conflict when they're about to say something in their own heads.
Yeah. Mm, yeah. Um, do you think that, mm, like, how do you think Mara feels about Jax in the initial moment?
I don't think it's like a romantic kind of thing. I feel like they're just really close friends that she can't really stand to lose, but she also needs him to
Mhm.
listen to what she's saying.
Yeah, right. So it's, um, there's this. she doesn't want to lose him. She doesn't want him to leave. She she doesn't want, to wound Jax, but she also is like, I have a responsibility. And
Mhm.
so she's like, honor dictates that I have to do XYZ. Um,
Yeah.
and so it really is a tricky position because she doesn't want to alienate Jax. Like I think she really wants Jax to understand and to like start, you know, cooperating for the greater good because she really doesn't want to lose Jax. And she doesn't want to push Jax away. So it's like kind of a tricky thing where she's like balancing this. I have to be in charge. I have to be responsible for your actions. And at the same time, I don't want to lose you. I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to get killed, you know?
Mhm.
Because I think she's trying to protect Jax as well. She's protecting these other people, but she's also trying to protect Jax to the best of her ability. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a tricky thing to portray. But I did hear there were some lines that I did hear some of that coming through. Um, like on the do you really believe that? Like feeling hurt, that it's like Jax just has these blinders on and can't see from her perspective, that kind of thing. So I feel like that's like one moment where I really heard that coming across, and that worked really, really beautifully. So are there other moments where you feel like some of that can kind of show up? Like, does um, her, emotion, does it change throughout like the beginning, middle, and end? What's the progression there?
Um, she goes from like annoyed that he's causing so much like issues around the place to like upset that she might be losing him.
Yeah. So maybe she could be hurt that Jax is like accusing her of these things and believes these things of her. Um, and then like by the end, how do you think she feels at the end of this conversation?
Like she's kind of mournful because she realizes that they're not getting anywhere because it's as if they're no longer friends.
Right. Yeah, like maybe kind of resigned to it or like
Mhm.
really sad because it's like, oh, I really wish I could have saved our friendship and like kept you, but she knows that he's gonna leave, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So maybe like kind of like hurt or wounded or like offended or like shocked when she's like, "Wait, you really believe that of me?" But then like really sad and like heartbroken that she's gonna lose him.
Mhm.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and try that again.
Okay.
You called me in here like I'm 12.
I called you in because you broke protocol.
Protocol is just fear with better branding.
Sit down.
No.
You always do this thing where you confuse resistance with courage.
And you do that thing where you confuse control with leadership.
You had one job, one, and instead you decided to break the rules like they didn't apply to you.
The rules don't apply when they're wrong.
That's not how systems work.
That's exactly how systems change.
You don't get to be the hero just because you're loud.
I'm not loud, I'm inconvenient.
You put people at risk.
I protected them from you.
Do you really believe that?
I believe you stopped listening a long time ago.
I built this place from nothing.
You built walls and called them safety,
You think rebellion makes you free? It just makes you predictable.
and authority makes you invisible.
I can end this for you tonight.
You already tried. I'm still standing.
If you walk out the door, there's no coming back.
Good, because I was never really inside.
This is bigger than you.
No, it's just bigger than your grip on it. Okay, awesome, good. So, how did it change?
This time I made it like more frustrated than uh she's like more conflicted near the end, but she's more frustrated that he won't listen, except in her voice I added like a bit of shakings because it's
Yeah.
like she's hiding her pain through anger.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good way to describe that. This is painful. Um, but then also it makes her a little bit angry too. And so it's yeah, it's like that hurt is underneath the rage. Yeah, that was great. Awesome. What was maybe your favorite thing about that read through?
Um, I like the gradual buildup of anger.
Okay. Yeah, that it kind of escalated as we went through it.
Hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely could see that. That it didn't just like start, off the bat being like that. It like got more and more heated as you went. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. I thought that was really good. So why don't we try another one? Um, okay. So this one also is a little bit long. So let me see if I can do it in a couple chunks here. All right. So Evelyn and Noah. Go ahead and just take a glance through and see what we think there. Okay, so what we know, Evelyn is polished, strategic, calm under fire. Noah is smart, composed, carrying something heavy. The setting is a glass-walled office after hours, city lights outside, a folder sits on the desk, and right before Evelyn says what she says, she closes the blinds. So Noah is a whistleblower. We also know that. So
Mhm.
okay.
I think I want to be Noah this time.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So yeah, just kind of reading through a little bit and kind of processing that. All right, so I will start. This conversation doesn't leave this room.
That depends on how it ends.
You asked for this meeting.
I asked for answers. You scheduled damage control.
You're emotional. That's understandable.
I'm precise. That's why this is a problem.
You should have come to me first.
I did 3 times. You forwarded my emails to legal.
You don't understand the full picture.
I understand numbers and bodies.
Careful.
I was. That's why I documented everything.
Do you know what you're risking?
Yes,
Your job, your reputation, every reference you'll ever need.
you're right. You taught me how leverage works.
This company does good in the world.
It does well. That's different.
If this goes public, people lose their jobs.
They already lost their lives.
What do you want?
Accountability.
That's not a real answer.
It's the only one I have left.
I can make this go away. Promotions, silence, protection.
I didn't come here to negotiate.
Everyone negotiates.
Not everyone sleeps afterwards.
If you walk out with this, you're alone.
No, I'm just no longer complicit.
You're burning a lot of bridges.
Bridges only matter if you plan on going back.
Okay. All right. So what did we learn about these characters in this scene?
One likes to keep things under wraps to make sure that the public has no idea what's going on, so they have all the power, and the other one wants to like tell the truth on what's been going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So for Noah, what would you say is um what maybe happened? Like what was the trigger, the thing that made Noah demand to come like speak to her in person? Like did Noah just show up? Did Noah like, just like, storm up to the secretary and like start yelling? Like did he just burst into the door? Like and what was the trigger? Like what was the thing that caused Noah to be like, that's it. Like I'm talking to you now.
I think Noah might have uh like approached them out in like public and said,
Okay.
"We need to talk about this." And they're like,
Ah,
"Fine, I'll
yeah.
schedule something."
Like at her kid's soccer game or something, right? Or it's like,
Yeah.
and she's like, fine. Like,
Do we have to do this here?
yeah, she's like, fine. Meet me at 6 p.m. in my office. Bye. Don't talk to me here. Yeah. So Noah like basically just was like, you're gonna talk to me whether you want to or not. And she was like, fine, I'll give you a meeting. And so when Noah first enters, what do you think is the main goal? What does Noah want? What would make Noah happy or like what would make him feel like he had accomplished his goal?
I think getting the people to know what's been going on, despite like the pleas of his friend or whatever she is to him,
Okay, yeah.
would
And
make him the
and what do you
happiest.
think is their relationship? Like why? Because like if that's the goal is just to like get this out in the open, why would he insist on telling her first?
I think he wants to see if she'll change her mind or if she'll like help him and be the person she
Yeah,
used to be instead of the one who's only
sure.
on the side of the people who want to keep everything quiet from the people that deserve to know it.
Right. Um, like he's like, hey, I'm because, you were my friend in the past. I care about you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to get taken down with the company. Like, I want to try to protect you so you could choose to help me, like go with
Mm.
me to the FBI or whatever. Um, so he wants to give her a chance to join him. Okay, I think that's a great goal. And so how does he feel when he first comes in about like what he's about to do and about her? Like, does he still believe that she might join him when he first comes in? Because I
Uh,
would think, I mean, if he's giving her the chance, like he must
I think
have
he has hope
at least a
for
little
it.
hope. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And then where do you think maybe that changes? Um, like, beginning, middle, and end. At the beginning, he's hopeful. And then like where does that shift?
I think it shifts when she starts talking about like bribery and such.
Mm, yeah. And do you think like how would he feel about her trying to like, be like, I can promote you, I can give you money, I can give you power. What do you want? Like, how would he feel about that?
He's very like, oh, sorry. He's
It's
very
okay.
taken aback and hurt by the fact that she tried to keep everything quiet still from the people that she
Yeah.
claimed to love long ago.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Like maybe hurt, offended. Um, maybe he's like, I can't believe you would think that of me. You should know me better than that.
Mhm.
Um, what about like at the end when he's like, I'm done, I'm walking out?
I think he's upset with her and he's not gonna like listen to a word she says because he won't he won't accept it basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So would he just be like, super disappointed? Would he be just like shattered? Would he be like more determined than ever.
He'd be driven by, I think, anger and determination.
Okay. Yeah. So just like really angry and determined. Awesome.
Mm,
Good. Okay. And then what about the character's personality? Like clearly this person is someone who like is pretty honorable,
mm,
that they're like, what you're doing is wrong, and I want to stand up for what's right. I want to tell the truth. I want to like defend these people. Um, you know, so clearly driven by this desire to like do what's right. Um,
mm.
so how would you describe this character? Like, is there like a parallel with like another character in something else that you've seen or read that you feel like this is similar to? I feel like in a lot of
Um,
anime, honor is such a big part of Japanese culture. So like, in shonen anime, for instance, you see so much of characters being like, okay, I have to honor my family, or I have to, um, honor my sensei or whoever, like they believe in doing what's honorable. So I feel like you can kind of relate that kind of to a lot of characters in anime as well.
oh, um, I can't really think of any specific characters, but I know
Sure.
there are some that have been
Yeah.
like betrayed by people they trusted to follow through with their cause.
Yeah. Yeah. So leaning more into that sense of betrayal,
Yeah.
because it seems like this is a person that you would have thought would never, stoop that low, or like maybe you're like shocked that it's like, wait, you already knew all of this, and maybe you thought once she found out that she would be horrified and want to leave and like back you up on this kind of a thing. Um,
Mm,
and then maybe, it's like that hurt and betrayal because you figure out you're like, oh my gosh, like, did you already know all of this? And like, you don't care, more like that. Um, like I think it could be kind of like a that kind of situation where it's like maybe you think because she keeps forwarding it to legal that maybe she didn't even read it or like really
mm,
understand what she was looking at. And so it's like, oh my gosh, like and you don't care, like you're not going to do anything. Um, so kind of leaning more into that
mm.
could be. Yeah. All right. So let's try it again.
Okay. Mm.
This conversation doesn't leave this room.
That depends on how it ends.
You asked for this meeting.
I asked for answers. You scheduled damage control.
You're emotional. That's understandable.
I'm precise. That's why this is a problem.
You should have come to me first.
I did 3 times. You forwarded my emails to legal.
You don't understand the full picture.
I understand numbers and bodies.
Careful.
I was. That's why I documented everything.
Do you know what you're risking?
Yes,
Your job, your reputation, every reference you'll ever need.
you're right. You taught me how leverage works.
This company does good in the world.
It does well. There's a difference.
If this goes public, people lose their jobs.
They already lost their lives.
What do you want?
Accountability.
That's not a real answer.
It's the only one I have left.
I can make this go away. Promotions, silence, protection.
I didn't come here to negotiate.
Everyone negotiates.
Not everyone sleeps afterward.
If you walk out with this, you're alone.
No, I'm just no longer complicit.
You're burning a lot of bridges.
Bridges only matter if you plan on going back.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, another thing I noticed, I feel like she might be kind of like a mentor or something because like some of the lines, like you taught me how leverage works, that kind of thing, and like, talking about references and things. Um, and then I feel like for Evelyn, she says like they do good in the world and like they're providing jobs and stuff. And so maybe she truly believes it's like for the greater good or something. It's like, look, yeah, maybe we do a few not so great things, but it's for the greater good, overall kind of a thing. Like that's how she sleeps at night. Um, did you make any other discoveries yourself?
Uh, Not that I can think of.
Hmm. Okay. I definitely heard you reading some things a little bit differently. Was there anything like vocally that you noticed that you maybe um, expressed differently, or maybe like certain words seemed more important this time? Like that line, you taught me how leverage works. Like I definitely heard that line differently this time. Um, so were there any lines that kind of stood out to you that you felt like um, you approached a little bit differently, or like that's why you documented everything, Um, like it was a little bit more apparent to me that like you've been, excuse me, researching and like calculating and tracking things, and so you're like, hey, like I can tell that the books have been cooked kind of a thing. Um,
Mm.
and so you can't just convince me because like I have facts, and it's like the numbers don't
Yeah.
lie kind of a thing.
Mm.
So like I think that gives some insight into who your character is as well, that your character is very precise and documents everything, keeps records, like adds everything up, triple and quadruple checks everything. Um,
Mm.
so I think that, gives a little bit of insight into the character as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, so what maybe did you maybe approach differently that time, or learn about the character through the process?
Uh, I'd say it was interesting to learn about like how affected they had become from their own duties. And
Yeah,
my character seeking the truth made them more like vulnerable at first in one character's eyes.
right.
But when they showed them that they're nowhere near that, it became more apparent that they wouldn't back down.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I also kind of got the impression um that your character like maybe has already approached the police or something, because like you're not afraid, like you don't seem afraid to me, and you seem pretty confident that you're like, no, I'm not alone. That was another thing that stood out to me, where it's like I've already made my choice. I've already, joined up with the FBI or whoever. And you're
Mm.
like, I just was offering you a chance to do the right thing with me, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And like get out while you can before I take the company down and you with it. Um,
Mm.
and so yeah. And Evelyn's just kind of like, you gave me a heads up and, now I'm gonna do what I can to
Hmm.
protect our backs, and you're the little guy. Like she seems pretty confident that she's going to be fine. But yeah, like that was another thing that stood out to me, and I just heard pretty differently.
Mm.
Nice. Okay, good. So overall today, was there like a key takeaway from the session?
Not all like sunshine and grumpy characters are going to be like happy versus angry kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
It
like
can be more dynamic.
right. A character might not necessarily be like bubbly, perky. They might be hopeful or altruistic, or like a hero kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And sometimes heroes have to be a little more serious too, you know? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like one character can be more sinister and one can, so it's like one is the darker character and one's the brighter spot character, but
Mhm.
there can be more nuance to it. I think that's a great takeaway. Um, so getting more kind of insight into what that can look like. Yeah, so then good. I thought that was really good work today. I was really happy with how that went. So yeah, if you want to keep working on some of these contrasting characters next time, I think that's great. Great
Okay.
work today. All right, Summer. Well, I'm so glad we were able to get everything going.
Mhm.
Awesome work, and I will look forward to seeing you next time, okay?
Mhm.
Bye, Summer.